I'm a multimillionaire. I'm financially independent. I do all of these things I teach because it's just smart money.
And there's nothing better than when you put on an old winter jacket, I find, and just put your
Find
hand
you
in the pocket.
$20.
Exactly. Mel Browne is a money expert. She's written a couple of books, including Unf Your Finances, and she's also a news.com.au contributor. She's written this great article called Quick Way to Make an Extra $20,000 a Year. I mean, who is not going to read that? She joins me now to tell me all about it. G'day, Mel.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It is an absolute pleasure. You have got 9 things in this article that take 15 minutes or less that people can do to try and make more money. I want to run through them one by one because they really are invaluable tips. Let's start with number 1.
So the first one is to use a cashback app. And this is something that I've been using for years and have earned thousands of dollars back during that time. So there's a couple of different ones you can use. There's Shopback or there's Cash Rewards. I'm a fan of getting them, unsubscribing from the emails so you're not tempted to spend, putting the extension on your browser so that if you're shopping online anyway, so everything from groceries to Bunnings to the Iconic or wherever it is that you're shopping, it'll pop up to say, hey, there's a cashback available. You activate it and then you keep shopping. And it is quite literally cash back in your bank account in about 3 months later.
I had a look at this yesterday and I couldn't believe it because I was reading your article on news.com.au and it blew my mind. So I went and had a quick play. I was going to buy a pair of shoes from the Iconic anyway, but then if you do it through the Shopback website, you can basically make like 2 or 3%, sometimes up to 10% back on that purchase in cash. It's pretty crazy.
It's so wild. And I know I've had people say to me, but they'll get your data. They're getting your data anyway. So you may as well make money while they have it.
What is number 2, Mel?
Number 2 is rent out your stuff. So a lot of people immediately think about selling your stuff, but I don't know, I like some of my stuff. So it's renting it out so you're not having to let go of it. So that's everything from you might have tools in your garage through to a dress that you wore at a wedding that you wear once a year. You can rent it out when people are having formals or wedding season. But it's also weird stuff. So if you've got a swimming pool, you can rent that out. If you have a driveway, so if I'm living in the inner city, I can rent out my driveway. I could rent out my car if I'm having to commute. So there's so many things you can rent out. It's limited by our imagination.
I saw in your article that you mentioned people renting out their pool and I was like, is that for real? So I Googled it. There's a website called Swimply, I think it is. And
that's
people
exactly
are renting out their pools for like $35 an hour and you can bring 10 mates. It's crazy.
But amazing for you if you want to use a pool and you don't want to use the public pool, you've got that option as well and it's win-win.
100%. Way cheaper than going to stay in a fancy resort for a weekend.
Exactly.
What is number 3, Mel?
So 3 is completing surveys online. So this might be you've taken the kids to watch sport and you're sitting there anyway. So pulling out your app and doing a couple of surveys is such an easy way to make some bucks while you're just sitting there. So you're not going to make a lot. It might be 10 or 20 bucks at a go. But for me, it's the snowball effect of all of these things that are going to get you that 20 grand. And so Octopus Surveys is a great site and there's lots more. It's not just surveys of stuff too. You could test websites. So there's sites that will allow you to test websites and kick them around to see if they are actually working. So lots of ways you can do surveys.
And, you know, 10 to 20 bucks, you say that's not much, but you can cover your coffees for the week by just doing a couple, right?
And that's the thing, it all snowballs. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We are up to tip number 4, Mel. What do you got for me?
Tip number 4 is a big one. So this is not just a small 10 or 20 bucks. This is thousands of dollars every single year. So I know we just received an interest rate cut. And to be honest, I'm expecting another one by the time this podcast comes out. But this is a way to force an interest rate cut every single year. So if you have a mortgage and you are not annually asking your bank for an interest rate deduction, you are missing out. So people inside my community, we've got scripts and all sorts of stuff you can use, are getting a 0.5% interest rate cut every year, no matter if rates are going up or rates are going down. And it's that lazy tax that you're paying by not asking for it.
Yeah, great tip there. All right, we're up to number 5.
So 5 is groceries are such an expensive part of life and we have to eat. So it's just a fact of life. So there are so many apps that are available now to help you save money. So some obvious ones that you may or may not have heard of are Frugal, Wise List, Half Price. So these are all apps that let you save money on all the majors. So IGA, Aldi, and the two big ones. There's also apps like Supercook, where if I've got stuff in my pantry and I just want to make something out of it and I don't want to have to spend any more money and I don't want to go to Uber Eats, using Supercook means I put in some ingredients and it'll spit out recipes. Or another one is Too Good To Go. So that is where both grocery stores and cafes put out surprise baskets. So they might be worth $30, but you'll pay $6 for them. You'll register and it's really, really cheap food. So there's so many ways to save.
Those early ones that you were talking about where you can save money from the major supermarkets, how do they work exactly?
So something like Half Price will tell you where the specials are so you're not having to go searching for them. Frugal's the same. It's comparing across all of the sites to say this is what you're wanting to buy and this is where it's the cheapest.
Do you know, just the other day I was on Facebook and I saw a friend of mine who's a mum and she was saying that she has to go through the catalogues every single week. She gets out her notepad and she has to write down, all right, I have to go to this place to get the specials here. I have to go to this place. But obviously these apps make life so much easier. They just do all the hard work for you.
Exactly. I'm such a fan of using technology to do that.
I am loving them. What's next?
So this is a big one. So my husband, for example, is desperate for a dog. I do not want one. So pet sitting sites and pet walking sites are a way for you to experience a pet without the cost. So there's places like Mad Paws where you register. You have to do a police check and you can either go to someone's home and pet sit or have the pets in your home where everything will be provided and you'll be paid. And if you think you're not going to get a lot of money for this, I can just give you one example. So we've got someone in our community that did this last year. Single mum, working from home, no time. She pet sat and pet walked during the year and earned $15,000 from doing that. Like that is a lot of money that you can make. So that really is worthwhile one.
Yeah, I'm doing that today. Who cares that I'm allergic to dogs? All right, number
maybe
7.
A goldfish for you.
Goldfish, that's a good tip. What's number 7?
7 is asking for a pay rise. Now, I'm a boss. I've been a boss for 20 years. We don't just want to go in and say, hey, I listened to this podcast and they said I should come and ask for a tip. We want to ask for this in an appropriate way. So sit down, figure out, how have I contributed to the company? How have I helped them earn money? What are people in my industry earning? And if I am earning less, and if I think I'm worth more, sit down with your boss, make an appointment, tell them what you want, and have that chat around getting a pay rise. And if you don't get one in your company and you've done the benchmarking and you know that you can get one somewhere else, maybe it's time to look for a pay rise somewhere else.
It can be so intimidating, can't it, to sit down
really
and ask for more money. But, you know, they're not just going to give it to you. You have to ask for it. So
you really
I think that's it. Let's move on to tip number 8.
Number 8 is looking for cash. So I'm talking everything from the seats of your car to handbags that you might have. But also there are coupon sites like Honey, which will show you what vouchers, etc. are around that you could use to find cash. There's Roundup sites. So a lot of investing apps now have got Roundup inside their site. So you can be investing with money that's not yours, money from shopping. Or going to Money Smart or ASIC, there are links where it lets you figure out, well, is there insurances that I've let lapse? Is there superannuation that I'm entitled to? Is there a bank account that I didn't realize that I had when I was an 18-year-old that has since closed and there's money to be had? Or dividends that I'm entitled to? So the number of people that have got latent money just sitting around that you don't realize, it's worth going and finding those links and seeing if you've got funds there.
And there's nothing better than when you put on an old winter jacket, I find, and just put your hand in the pocket.
$20.
Exactly. You're like, oh my God, I'm the luckiest man alive.
I agree.
All right, we've had 8 tips so far, Mel. What is number 9?
Number 9 is to negotiate your bills. And again, there's a lazy tax and a loyalty tax we pay by just setting and forgetting. So I'm such a fan of automating my bills, but once a year, I want to sit down when they're due and ask the question, can I get a better deal? So everything from your private health insurance, so ringing them and saying, hey, I've been a loyal customer. I'd like a discount to your electricity, to your phone bill, to your streaming services. So it's that whole don't ask, don't get. And again, people inside my community are getting massive discounts simply from asking, because it's a lot of competition out there. And if you even maybe hint you're going to go somewhere else, chances are you're going to get a discount.
Just the other day, I was scrolling through Twitter, or X as it's known now, and I saw a video of Kevin O'Leary, who is a Canadian businessman. He's a multi-millionaire. He's on the US version of Shark Tank, and he was saying that even though he is so wealthy, every time he gets a notification from a company saying that one of his bills is going up, he calls them. Let's have a listen to what he has to say.
Do you negotiate bills down, like household subscriptions, cable bills? There's multiple service providers.
Yes, I love to do that. It keeps me sharp. I always call on a bill and I say, let me speak to your retention officer. Avoid dealing with the sales rep because only the retention officer can cut the deal. And I say, then listen, I just saw this increase in this service. Unfortunately, I can no longer remain with you at this price. I'm shopping my business. And they will say, oh, you don't have to do that. I'm the retention officer. What do you want? And I will say, look, keep me as a customer because I've been a customer for X number of years. And the fact that I had to call you to get this, I need 4 free months. And I want my old rate back. And they'll say, well, we can't give you 4 free months. We can give you 1 free month. I said, well, I'll do it at 2. And if you don't give me 2, I'm shopping my business because you made me call you for this. It's an age-old game. I love doing it. It keeps me sharp. I've met every retention officer in every cable service, every subscription business. They love me. They love me. I'm a retention officer trainer. No, it's sport for me. It's sport. I really enjoy it. It's one of my enjoyable activities. I love to squeeze the head of a retention officer like a teenage pimple. I think it's fantastic.
Mel, so have you done this as well? Have you called businesses? You always demand a better price?
Absolutely. And just like Kevin, so I'm a multimillionaire. I'm financially independent, not as wealthy as Mr. Wonderful. But I do all of these tips because one, I want to invest in places like crypto, but I don't want to spend my own money doing that because I consider it a high risk investment. So it's a way to invest for me without risking my own cash.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a lazy tax we pay, and I don't want to have a leaky bucket anywhere. So I ask for better deals. I negotiate my bills. I sign up to Shopback. I do all of these things I teach because it's just smart money.
I cannot wait to finish this podcast and go to my
Go
computer
and do it.
and start making some money. If you want more tips like that, go to melissabrown.com.au and make sure you follow Mel on Insta at melbrown.money. Thank you so much for
Remembering I
coming
have
on.
I'm a fancy brown. I've got an E on the end.
Yes. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Nice to chat.